Welcome to Letters to Louie with Abby Algiers. Good afternoon, Abby.
Hi, Sally.
You're here on a special day for your entire family. And
Yes.
we're going to be recording this on March 14th. So that's significant because your father's birthday.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And he would have been
97.
97.
Yes.
You know, his presence is still felt, not just with these recordings of his letters, but also still within our community and the impact he had in many different areas.
Yeah.
And the letter you chose today is a perfect title, if you will, unusual, but definitely attention grabber. And I'm going to have you read Tsunami 2010.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Tsunami 2010. Dear Louie, an earthquake off the coast of Chile generates a tsunami headed toward Hawaii, scheduled to arrive in 6 to 8 hours, nothing between the two landmasses. Just imagine what it must have been like in the days of Magellan, sailing on the Pacific Ocean, named for peace and quiet, lack of storms and monotony of days. Suddenly there occurs a rogue wave, higher than the poop deck, more threatening than a loaded pistol held to a buccaneer's head. This is what happens each and every day during the lives of individuals. Just 2 days ago, a friend of ours drove the company truck to Horicon at night on a back road. He was headed to a fast-pitch workout for his teenage daughter. Both the father and daughter were wearing seatbelts. The truck hit a patch of black ice, skidded on the road, hit the embankment, and flipped end over end and side over side 3 times. They crawled out the driver's window, took a few deep breaths, and thank God they were standing, breathing, and shaking. 5 minutes before the black ice, they were laughing and planning the coming spring ball games. Then they flipped, rolled, and lived. Just as the sailing ships of the past, 1 second upright and safe, the next rolling, scared, and facing judgment and mortality. This is, of course, the course of our lives, not a moribund thought for the morning, but a realistic view of the moment and day. After a few, 84 years on the planet, I recall some days of rogue waves and rollovers. The first episode was my birth. I was the firstborn of 6. I was a moderate-sized 7-pound baby delivered by forceps extraction from the tightly constricted passageway and traumatized by a laceration on the right side of my head. A 2-inch laceration, superficial and fast healing, but remaining as a scar above the ear, hidden by the hairline but visible during the butchering haircut of boot camp. I believe I have relived the passage during my growing years when fevers of strep throat and viral infections caused discomfort and nightly anxiety. At those times, I would have a constricting sensation of choking while fitfully sleeping in the black room upstairs. Constriction of the throat and a right-sided headache would awaken me, and I would lie sweating in bed, afraid to move. Events of that type would occur over my years. I do believe those episodes were birth channel passageway connected. One day, while swimming at Lake Winnebago, I became stranded while dog paddling to the raft. There were many utes in the near proximity, but no one to help. I sank into the depths, resurfaced 2 or 3 times, and finally made it to the raft. Again, I had the sensation of the dark birth canal suffocation. Years later, an afternoon on the island of Attu nearly ended in disaster when sliding down the snow-covered mountain, I came upon a chasm 4 feet across and deep, was able to just slide jump across and struggle on the far side, finally scrambling to the snow-covered surface. If not successful, I would still be there, in the Aleutian womb of perpetual ice and snow. I've often thought that would have been a hell of a way to go. Suppose when found, some sort of forceps extraction would have been done on the frozen cadaver. And then there was the near rollover while pulling our family's travel trailer. Those minutes of swerving downhill and loss of control ended in a crashing conclusion on the roadside, where the sudden occurrence was near immortality. That crash, seemingly prolonged as the birth passage, ended in escape from hurt and injury, but never from the recrimination of a dumb act of driving in preparation. We lucked out. Only Beth bears a small scar from our deliverance. I suppose there have been other events of near catastrophe, but this morning I only know that in each life there are moments of tsunami proportions, most of which we survive, but have the trauma of memory when we go down the pathways of daily living. And so, Louie, may the wind always be on your back and the state of grace enlighten your path on the visceral journey of life. Keep the faith, my friend. Jim.
So when we first started this journey of deciding to record more letters to Louie, and you were very open and responsive to that, how did you decide that you were going to catalog these? Are you doing these chronologically? Are you doing them by event here? Or what was your decision on that?
That's a good question. So I went through the volumes of letters. There were about 3 binders this thick, and I'm still going through those and emails from my dad's computer. But I decided on certain categories: childhood, teenage years, college, medical school, the war, and then early practice, and then later life.
Wow.
So yeah, there's definite divisions. However, some of them kind of interchange. So
Okay.
I'm sort of going through thinking, will a childhood letter be included with an older letter? I'm not sure.
Right.
But I do have them sort of separated in that way for now.
Okay. And have you heard from anyone as far as watching these on YouTube channel or anybody inside your family? And I've heard references myself personally in our community that really enjoy this still. So I don't know if you've heard any feedback or what happened.
I get feedback from kind of unexpected places, people that I'm friends with maybe on Facebook, or just people who get my just other emails I send out,
Right.
that they really enjoy the letters.
Good.
Some are friends of my parents. Some
Wow.
are people I know. Some are
Right.
people, I've met people in Spain and shared the letters, and I've gotten responses. So it's kind of cool
fantastic.
that they're going around the globe.
Yes, and before we went on camera, I was telling you that his writing to me, and whenever we did any type of interviews here in the city of Hartford, everything was so descriptive for me, very visual, and I'm hoping that our viewers can see that and sense that, and that his presence is still here.
I agree. I totally agree, and I feel like his words kind of transcend time. And as I'm going through them, organizing them, or even preparing, for today, it's kind of like I can hear his voice, and that's because he's my dad, but I do feel like it's appropriate for anyone. Any random person off the street could get a message from this letter I just read about his life.
Absolutely. So happy birthday,
Yes.
Dr. James L. James.
Yes.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Sally.
And to our viewers, as always, thank you for watching.